Yeah, let's do it.
Here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. I want to know where your passion for music came from. Was it a certain album or live performance that inspired it, or something that was just naturally for you as a child?
That's a cool question. You know what? My brother Randy, he plays guitar in the band also. Um, we just our grandparents gave us instruments really young. I got a picture of us like 5 and 6, like toddler with guitars, and we didn't know how to play them. We were goofing around because my mom was in the MTV generation. It was like mid
Yeah.
'80s when I was like 6 or 7. So we would act like Def Leppard and Van Halen, and it just stuck. I don't know, like we just believed that we could do it for some reason. But those early guitar gifts, I think, go a long way. I have a 4-year-old, and we got him one of those little tiny, kind of toy guitars, and he already
Yeah,
likes it.
that's so cool. Well, you guys just released Emergency EP the end of last month. Were you guys writing that during or before or after the pandemic? Or?
Mainly before. So, it's just really worked out as far as like the lyrics kind of being relevant this year. Could have went the whole other way. This could have been like the smoothest, most chill year ever. And it was like emergency EP, bro. What's that all about? But
Yeah, that's what I thought.
um,
Like, oh, maybe the lyrics had something to do with it. But wow.
no, we actually wrote except for one song. So one song called "Please Unfriend Me" was written and recorded in quarantine. Same producer and mixer, which is me and my drummer. So that's kind of cool.
Mhm.
Also, to have it doing well and be completely in-house as far as the recording goes. But that last track we actually did in quarantine because I wanted to see what it feel like. It really was just a test. But other than that, it was all written, and we recorded it last year on the bus.
So was the lyrics from the "Please Unfriend Me" kind of inspired by the pandemic, or is that from something else? Or
Yeah, that one specifically is the one that was. It's all just kind of what it felt like to me to be, just going through all this stuff. Like I
gotcha.
wanted one song that could relate to everybody. So we kind of literally that song was only mixed about 14 days before the EP came
Oh
out. So it's the
wow.
last. We just wanted to do it. We're like, all right, we're gonna throw one quarantine song on there, and hopefully it doesn't suck. And I think people like it.
All right, well, let's talk about some of my favorite tracks from there. You obviously you had the single "Is This the Real World?" I think it needs a savior. What was the inspiration for that?
Lots, like again, last year, just, all the stuff you see about like, the earth dying and like all the just the madness. This is pre-2020. Like it was still pretty, if you got open eyes and you're looking, there was a lot of just things kind of building up. People were saying things like boiling point and all this. So it was just a vibe I was on last year.
Yeah.
Just really that, there needs, like John Lennon, world peace, peace and love, one of those. But I wanted to do it metal style instead of so like soft and lovey.
Well, you have a really awesome music video to go along with it too. It's kind of, I guess it's like in a creepy looking hotel, and you're like watching the TV, and the band's inside of it, and you're inside there with the mask on. Like who inspired to came up with that inspiration for it?
It's actually a throwback for our old school fans because 10 years ago, our album, the whole thing's a big Easter egg for our hardcore fans.
Oh,
Our album,
cool.
Am I the Enemy came out, yeah. And we had these characters, they all had the name, the silent, the politician, the militant, and they all have a mask. So we brought those characters back for an anniversary Easter egg and then made a new video and tied them in. So that's why the masks are there. So any hardcore fans can go back and watch Am I the Enemy? And that's the prequel, if you will, to Is This the
Okay.
Real World? For the character explanation. Other than that, it's almost just like, things that haunted you before can come back to you. It's like 10 years later, here Ronnie is thinking he kind of got away from all that. And then all the media and all the stuff that's going on sucks him into the TV. And then boom, he's back to this battle that he thought he had beaten, but he's not. He's sucked right back into the same old game over and over again.
I love that. I have to go back and rewatch that video. Probably my favorite track is a long time ago in a galaxy called LA. I love it's like got that awesome riff and that punk style drums, but then like the song takes like kind of a drastic turn. Like I guess it's the bridge part where you say, "Luckily for me, she didn't run," and then like I bet she wishes she did, and it goes in this like cool like groove slow down. Like that's so awesome, man. We'll talk about the inspiration from writing that song.
Yeah, I mean, all my old punk legend favorite bands I still listen to. So I always try to do something that I feel like they would have done. So bands like MXPX, that really feels like like a late 90s MXPX move. And my career is still probably, if I had a hero, it would have been that guy and still to this day.
Oh, he's
So
awesome.
um, I'm always, even when I'm writing music, I'm still remembering the stuff that I listened to when I first started this band. I think that's important to me. And one or two songs I'm going to throw back to that. The whole record is never going to be like that anymore because there's just a lot of other ideas we want to try and songs we want to, like, Is This the Real World? Doesn't sound anything like that. But that
Yeah.
part that you're talking about right there, sometimes I get it in the very beginning of the song is also a nod to a band I loved called No Use for a Name. So that whole track is kind of just like me saying, hey guys, don't forget this is where I came from, like sonically, like I'm still a punker at heart. But I'm glad you pointed that out because, and also Weezer, they're known for that just big open boom, tap, boom, boom, tap. I love Weezer. They've used that beat so many times in their discography. So I don't feel bad about using some of my musical influences in Red Jumpsuit because obviously the lyrics all sound like me. And they're funny and they're witty. If you really read the lyrics on that last whole exchange, it's quite entertaining if you follow me down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great because it's a great EP, and you're actually going to be playing it entirely in a live stream at the Whiskey A Go Go on Friday, October 2nd. Not only that, but you're doing a interactive Q&A, and you're playing the 14th anniversary of your album "Don't Fake It Out," which has the iconic track "Face Down." That's pretty cool. How'd you get this put together?
We're just going with the flow. A lot of other bands have already done some like really cool, successful live stream events, and we were always just nervous about travel. We hadn't really quite figured out how to do that yet or put the time in to figure it out. So after we saw some other bands do it and everything seemed okay, there was no major problem, and the people seemed to be into it. We're like, well, I don't know, like, are we going to do that or not? Like, we've never, not just this year, in 17 years, we've never done an official full band live stream. We just never got around to it. We never
Yeah.
did it. So we've been playing venues, and all of a sudden, the sound got back, oh yeah, by the way, there's a camera over there, and we got like 2 mics plugged in, one on this side of the building, and so you can watch it later if you want. We're like, cool, dude, and then we see it later, and we're like, man, that's not what it sounded like live, but still cool to watch. Then we see
Yeah.
it 10 years later, and we're like, this is not our live stream sound, so like it'll be cool to finally get one stab at it. That's kind of cool, like one professional stab at it, if you will. And the Whiskey is a cool venue. So we figured out how to travel
Yeah, I
safely.
watched
We're gonna play,
Alien Art Farm
you know
did theirs there, and it actually sounded really good. So that's the thing, because a lot of live streams, yeah, they don't
yeah,
sound good.
because they're a good band. Yeah, there's really good musicians in that band. So I'm glad you picked that one. It just depends on the band, but
Yeah,
if the band can jam, bands like my band and Alien Ant Farm, they just want to go into a venue and play not only for the fans but for themselves, just to
yeah.
feel real again for one night. So even though we're going to be playing to nobody in the crowd, but we are going to be playing, we know that very well, to the people who are watching us. But we get to stand on that stage also and just feel normal, for 2 hours, and just this what we're so used to doing that we haven't been able to do since so long.
All right. Well, everyone can go online and get tickets for this virtual live stream, and it's, like I said, it's at the Whiskey A Go Go on Friday, October 2nd. Thank you so much, Ron, and we'll talk down the road. All right.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. Take care, man.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Please support this video by giving it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and hit that subscribe button while you're down there. Thank you so much.